Oh. Hey guys, as you start rolling in, awesome. Wellness Living was glitching, so it wouldn't let me email you in time, so Mary texted everything out. As we get ready, go ahead and maybe grab some blocks or any sort of prop you might want, a blanket, whatever you would like to support your practice. If you don't have yoga blocks or bolsters, feel free to grab whatever might work. You know, Clorox wipes actually are pretty good size. We still got about 5 minutes, but I thought I'd just say hey, and hopefully everything will go smoothly now. Do you want to go inside? How about you do it? You put goldfish in a bowl? Asa, your guinea pig wants to go out. Hey guys. So there's I think there's one more person that's joining us. As you might have realized, we had a little bit of tech issue getting the link to you, but hopefully everybody got it via text. Oh, look, there you guys are. Feel free to have your videos on or not. As we go through practice, I'll probably check in and ask for thumbs up, thumbs down if you can hear me, things like that. I'm trying it outside because Bruce is still awake, and so it's a little bit loud inside. And so we'll get moving. Here in just a second, I'll give Roxanne about a minute or two to get logged in. But it looks like everybody else that is registered is here, so that's exciting. And if you weren't here when I first chatted, feel free to grab anything that you might need. You can actually, if you don't have yoga blocks, feel free to grab anything that might work. If you would like a blanket for extra support or softness, feel free. Pillows are also great. It's going to be a pretty beginner-ish flow. I'll offer lots of options. So feel free to make it work however it works for you. And we'll get started here in about 2 or 3 minutes. Which means don't worry, I'll give you your full hour anyway. Don't worry. Oh, there she is. All right.
Oh no.
I hear you.
I can see y'all, but you can't see me.
I can't see you either. It's okay, it's not required.
Molly, there's Kelly. I know, Kelly
I see her.
And Sarah says she's coming.
I see Sarah.
Sarah's there.
If you do have questions, feel free to turn your mics on while we're practicing. Usually I have some pretty curated playlists. They do not transfer well over Zoom, so feel free if you'd like some background music as you go through the practice, feel free. You can creep me on Spotify. I have a whole bunch of lists if you'd like, or maybe just see how it is in silence. I did a Zoom class with my home studio in Tallahassee last week, and we practiced in silence, and it was, it took me a minute, but I actually kind of enjoyed it. Oh, there you are. And so anyway, I'm so excited you guys are here. Look at you, you're so cute. Where's Kirsten? It's okay. I'm excited. I'm just as excited to see you too, Tanya. All right, guys, so we'll go ahead and get started. Finding a comfortable seat on your mat. And I'll let Max in, so there probably won't be any pet disruptions today. If you have blocks or pillows or blankets, feel free to have a seat on them. If not, just do whatever feels comfortable for you. Volume okay? I see mostly thumbs up, so that's great. And this is recording so that we can, ideally it's just recording me, but we'll see how that goes as well. So that we can share it with others that weren't able to attend but wanted to take the class later. As you pause, don't worry about camera angles. I sent my entire, just like my belly button when I took class the other day. No worries. We're in a very interesting time. No one cares. Being able to practice is what's important. Just finding a few moments of stillness. If crisscross legs is not comfortable, feel free to let your legs extend out. Maybe you close your eyes and you feel length through your spine. The crown of the head is reaching up as your sits bones press down. Feeling your shoulders drop away from the ears. As you start to feel a joint stack here, shoulders over hips. This means there's a little bit of core engagement here to help stabilize the low back. Maybe you begin to deepen your breath. Maybe you just start to notice the pace of your breath. Wherever you are in your breath cycle, go ahead and exhale everything out. And inhale for a count of 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Letting your breath find its pace to guide your practice. Perhaps continuing that equal parts breath where you balance the inhale with the exhale. Maybe you even deepen the breath, noticing how it feels to breathe through the nose, unless you've got allergies going on, because it's delightful currently here. And as you pause for the next 3 to 5 breaths, feel free to set an intention to guide your practice. Maybe that intention is cultivating an emotion or state of being. Perhaps you're choosing patience or feeling grateful. We get to have this practice together. I see at least 5 states happening on my screen right now. That is an exciting thing for me. And then on your next inhale, arms reach high, palms meet at the top. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, hands to heart. One thing to also know is I tend to teach as your mirror. Just know that you have 2 sides, so whichever side you go, to the second side the next time. Inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, you tip to your right side. Inhale, up. Exhale, tips you to your second side. And up. Your next exhale takes a twist to your right. Maybe your left hand rests on your right thigh. Right fingers could come behind. Gaze could look straight ahead or over your shoulder. Inhales create length in your spine. Exhales might find depth of twist. Your next inhale brings you center. Exhale, twists to your second side. Inhale, center. Exhale, you can creep your hands forward, finding a gentle forward fold. Inhale brings you up, hands to heart center. Switching the cross of your legs if they are crossed. Maybe you do that with your hands, maybe not. Then letting your arms rest on your knees or your thighs and drop your chin to your chest. You're gonna draw half moons across your collarbone. Pace of this is up to you. Finding mobility through the back of the spine, massaging through the throat. As that tick-tock evens, you can let your chin rest in the center and then stack it on top of your spine once more. You'll inhale your left hand up and over, letting it rest on the side, maybe over your ear. Not pulling the head to the side, but letting the weight of the arm drop the head over, creating a stretch on the side of the neck. If you'd like to intensify, you can reach your fingers about 45 degrees. Relaxing the arm and then releasing the top arm. Other hand reaches up and over. Finding some space there. Remembering the option to reach the fingers. One side may not like that as much as the other. Then releasing, coming back center. Arms reaching high once more. And then walking the hands forward. That forward fold with the opposite cross may feel vastly different. And then we'll walk ourselves back up. If you happen to be sitting on a prop, if it's a blanket that's pretty flat, feel free to keep it there. We're getting ready to go to our knees. If you've got a block like I do, you'll want to move it out of your way as you make your way to tabletop. Once again, finding joint stacks here. Wrists and elbows stack under shoulders. Knees stack under hips. Feeling length from the crown of the head through the tailbone. And once again, you've got some low belly core engagement. Think about belly button to spine to help protect and support the low back. On your next inhale, you'll drop the belly and look high for cow. Exhale, round to the spine to cat. Inhales to cow. Exhales to cat. Feeling your body sync breath with movement here. Feeling free to continue through this traditional pass of cat-cow with your breath. Also feeling free to take intuitive movement, maybe circling through the body, jump roping the spine. You could even take big hip circles forward and all the way around. If you circle, just be sure that you go in both directions. As we find about 5 more rounds of breath here, doing what your body needs. As you finish your movement, no rush, you can return to your tabletop. Once again, feeling supported and stable. Checking in with the head here, tendency, we like to drop our head down like a bowling ball. But you want to stack it up, keep it on top of the spine, protects the neck as well. On your next inhale, we'll reach your right fingers high. Exhale, thread and hover that arm. Inhale, reaches to the sky or ceiling, wherever you are. Exhale, threads. Finding 2 and through. Last one, reaches. This time as you thread, finding threaded needle here, shoulder comes to the mat, maybe your ear feels the floor. Feel free to keep the hand as leverage in front of you. You're also welcome to take the arm up and back. Finding space in the shoulder. Your next inhale unwinds. And the exhale settles the palm to the mat. Feeling free to wiggle it out or cat-cow in between. And then your next inhale reaches the opposite hand high. Exhale threads to hover. Inhale reaches. And thread. For 2. And 1. This time you settle, finding that stretch on your second side. Maybe that arm reaches up and back. Your next inhale brings you back up. Palms to the floor. Then taking your hands about 1 handprint forward, tucking your toes and pressing your hips up and back, finding your down dog here. Allowing yourself intuitive movement. Maybe you walk your dog, wag your tail, lift and lower the heels. As you explore your down dog, begin to feel your shoulders pressing away from your ears. Belly button still pulls to the spine. Hips press high as if they could reach the seam where the ceiling meets the wall. Giving yourself movement for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pausing in the outward stillness of your down dog. Feeling your 4 points of stability, active through the hands, including the fingers. Not worrying about how close the heels are to the mat. Give your head a quick shake, releasing tension from the back of your neck. Your next inhale curls you up and out to high plank. Exhale presses the hips high to down dog. Inhales to plank, firing up through the core. Exhales to down dog. Inhaling to plank once more. This time, lowering the knees to the mat, untucking the toes. Passing through our first chaturanga here, our yogi push-up. Here, you lean your chest forward, elbows hug the ribs, that's the most important cue here, and you lower the chest forward and down. Then you can lift the chest to baby cobra. Maybe the hands press into the mat, maybe they're light, maybe they hover. And releasing it down, tucking your toes, pressing your hips back to meet your heels in child's pose. Child's pose is uncomfortable for you. Feel free to take puppy pose, where you keep your hips high off of your heels. Remembering as you go through your practice today, Child's pose is always a great option. Then keeping your toes tucked, maybe you start to creep your hands back to your knees. Maybe you sit on your heels. There's probably a lot going on there. It may not feel great. Keep your hands down. Creating space across the toes. If you don't feel any sensation, I'm super happy for you. It's a lot. 2 more breaths. Then we'll bring the hands forward, untuck the toes. This is the good part, you guys. Tap out the tops of your feet on the floor. Feels so good after that toe stretch. You're super welcome for that. And then as we're ready, we'll go back to down dog. Maybe you pedal the heels. And then on your next inhale, you'll lift your right toes high, keeping the big toe and kneecap facing the mat to start. Feeling the shift from 4 points of stability to 3. Then you can maybe push your toes higher, letting your hips open to the long edge of your mat. The knee can bend. You can circle at the ankle. Maybe opening through the hip. Then we'll square that leg back off and lower it to the mat. Switching sides as you are ready. Pausing first in 3-legged dog. And then reaching it up and over. And squaring back off, foot finds the mat. And in your own time, we're gonna just gently begin to walk toward the front edge of your mat, finding a gentle forward fold. Knees can bend a lot or a little. You can grab for elbows. Give your head a shake here too. We hold tension there and we think we've relaxed. Then releasing your grip, hands come to your shins. Taking a half lift here, making a 7 shape with your body. Exhale, folds. Inhale, lifts halfway up. Exhale, folds. And as you're ready, you can bend your knees deeply, tucking the tailbone, stacking vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way up to mountain pose. Feel free to shake it out. Grab some water if you need. If you are using props, I do always suggest having them toward the top of your mat. That just makes them easy to reach as you go through your practice. When you're ready, finding your mountain. Yours is at the top of the mat, mine is in the middle so that you can actually see me. As you arrive there, maybe gently rock your feet forward and back, feeling how that changes your balance, redistributes the weight across your feet. And then feeling your toes spread wide, you got to do that great toe stretch so your feet are open on the mat. Shoulders are pressing down and back. Maybe take a couple shoulder circles up and around. And returning to some outward stillness of your mountain pose. Inhale, arms reach high. Grabbing your left hand, reaching up and over. Feeling free to continue holding on or deepen the stretch or create support with the arm down the side. If you have the arm high, resist the urge to use the bottom arm as a pillow. Inhale, reaches back up. Switching the grip, exhale, tips you to your second side. Feeling free to release that arm. Inhale, stacks. Releasing the hands, feeling free to use fists. Your fingers could point up or down on your low back. Creating a nice external support here. Feet are grounded, maybe your knees bend slightly. Tailbone continues to reach toward the mat. As you reach up and back, taking a gentle back bend to open the heart. The next inhale brings you neutral. Hands release, chin pauses on the chest. Your next inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, swan dives, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands can be on the shins, fingertips could be on the floor depending. Exhale, palms plant, stepping it back to down dog. Your inhale curls you up and out to plank. Feeling free to lower to your knees or omit this altogether as you pass through your chaturanga flow. Lowering, coming forward to cobra, maybe up dog. If you're in up dog, pay attention to your low back. Make sure it's not pinching. Exhales bring us back to down dog. Inhale lifts your right foot high. Exhale steps that right foot through. Maybe hands frame the leg, maybe you've got a block. Maybe you bring the hands to the quad for some external support. As you're ready, you start to reach the arms high. Crescent lunge. Hey, Kate. If this feels stressful to your shoulders, maybe you widen the V. Hope the truck continues on. Maybe your hands come to heart center all together. Choosing the arm placement that works best for your body. Your next inhale, elbows go wide, goalpost, and you'll take a slight back bend once more. Returning center, we frame that foot, stepping it back to down dog. Yogi's choice, you pause in down dog or child's pose, or maybe you choose to take a flow, finding that chaturanga to cobra or up dog. And then we all meet in down dog. Inhale reaches your second leg high. Exhale steps that foot through. Stabilizing first, checking in with the front knee. Hopefully it's stacking right over that ankle. Then as you're ready, we start to creep it up. Feel free to take your time. Arms could reach. Arms could come to heart. Feel free to gently bend the back knee. That helps you tuck the tailbone. And then kick back through the knee. Feeling a stretch through your hamstring. Elbows go wide. Chest opens to the ceiling. Returning center. Framing that foot. Choosing to flow or pause. If you're here to get a workout, feel free. to double dip on your chaturanga. Then we'll all meet in down dog. Inhale, lifts the heels, bends through the knees as you look forward. Exhale, steps, hops, walks you to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. All the way up to mountain pose. Hands, paws at heart center. Maybe you briefly close your eyes, taking inventory. Feel free to grab water at any time, whether I cue it or not. Then inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, swan dives, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plants the hands, steps it back, down dog. Inhale, lifts your right toes high. Exhale, steps that foot through. Spinning the back heel down, keeping hips and shoulders square to the short edge of the mat for warrior one. Again, arm placement is up to you. Feeling shoulders and hips working toward that short edge of the mat as the thigh becomes parallel, theoretically, with the floor. Hands reaching behind, clasping or grabbing for elbows, depending on your shoulders. And let the chest open a bit to the ceiling. Hands can rest on the back leg. Inhale brings you center. Exhale spills you forward, humble warrior. If it starts to become too intense for your shoulders, feel free to release your grip. Chest can rest on the quad, or you can reach down, forehead toward the ankle. Wherever you choose to pause, notice the juxtaposition of work and release. Legs are powerfully pressing into the mat. Torso releases and surrenders. Inhale peels you back up, releasing your grip. Exhale, hands frame the foot, stepping it back. Pausing, finding a flow, maybe a child's pose. Eventually, we all meet in down dog. Inhaling your second foot high. Exhale, steps it through. Peeling up to warrior one on your second side. If spinning the heel to the mat does not feel good to your body, feel free to come up on your toes. Hands reaching behind, put the weird thumb on top. You'll know. If it doesn't feel weird, try again. Then taking that heart opener to the ceiling. Returning center and spilling forward. Finding the option that works best for you here. Inhale peels you up. Releasing your grip. Hands frame the foot, stepping it back, pausing, finding a flow. Eventually, we'll all meet in child's pose. Maybe your knees stay close together. Maybe you take a wide knee child's pose. Maybe your arms reach long or by your sides. Again, listening and acknowledging what your body needs for your practice. And as you're ready, make your way back to down dog. Inhale, lifts the heels, bend to the knees. Exhale, brings you to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lifts. Exhale, folds. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Coming all the way up. Hands to heart center. Taking a peek at your feet here. They're probably just about hip distance apart. Remember, hip bone's not where we think our hips are. Feeling free to be slightly narrower if that feels good to your body. Inhale, arms reach high. We set our hips down and back. Chair pose. Again, if this feels uncomfortable to your shoulders, hands can come to heart center. As you pause in chair, feel your hips pushing back as if you could stack your knees over your ankles instead of pushing past your toes. Maybe you sink your hips just a smidge deeper and your shoulders reach back as if they could reach the invisible seat behind you. Exhale, releases forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands plant. Step it back, down dog. Inhale, lifts. Your right toes high. Exhale, steps the right foot through, spinning the back heel down as we open up to warrior two this time. Front toes facing the short edge of the mat, back toes to the long. Arms reaching as if they could go past the edges of your mat. Tailbone reaches down, shoulders and hips are still square. Inhale, arms reach high, straightening through the front knee. Exhale, deepens to a bend. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend. Inhale. Exhale, finding the depth of bend through that front knee. Maybe take a peek, make sure it's not rocking forward or back. It's tracking right over the second or middle toe. As you tip it forward, elbow to knee, extended side angle. Maybe the top arm brings bicep to ear. Maybe the bottom arm hovers, resisting the urge to drop into the shoulder. Inhale brings you up. Rotating the hips, coming up on the back toes, crescent lunge. Finding the depth of your crescent here, that's currently one of my favorite transitions, mostly because suddenly my front knee is actually as bent as it can be. Hands come to heart center. Chest leans forward. Back is as straight as feels good for your body. And then, for funsies, maybe it takes lots of baby steps or one big step to warrior three. Maybe arms stay at heart center, maybe the hands fly back. Still feeling kneecap and big toe facing the mat of that floating leg. If you've got props or anything handy, hands could even come to the floor, finding standing L. Hands find the mat or the blocks or the Clorox wipes, whatever you're using. Pausing and standing out. Hands come back to heart center. This is the fun part. Unhinging, maybe the toes accidentally tap. Mine did. Knee comes forward. Finding tree pose. Maybe you have baby tree. Maybe you've got kickstand toes. Maybe you grab and place. Anywhere but the knee. Pausing. Feeling grounded and stable on one point of stability. Branches can grow, hands can stay at heart center. Bringing the knee forward. Hinging through warrior three, bending through the front knee, crescent lunge. I'm sure your front leg is burning. Great. Hands frame the foot, step it back, down dog. Choosing to flow, maybe pause in child's pose. And as you're ready, make your way back to down dog. Inhale reaches your second leg high. Exhale steps it through. Back heel spins down, peels it up. Warrior two on your second side. Hands reaching forward and back, bending through that front knee. Inhale, arms reach, straightening the front leg. Exhale, bends. Or two. And one. Settling into the depth of bend. Tipping it forward, extended side angle. Arm can reach high or toward the front of your mat. You could also hover the bottom arm. Inhale brings you up. And slowly transitioning, hips squaring to the short edge. Back heel comes up. Crescent lunge. Check in with your front toes. Make sure they're not gripping. Hands come to heart center. Chest can begin to lean forward. Then as you're ready, one big step or lots of babies. Warrior three. Feeling that back leg staying square. Belly button pulling to the spine. Crown of the head reaching forward. Hands can come to the quad, blocks or prop, or to the mat if you prefer. not already released, take a moment and stand in L. And then hands come to heart center. Unhinging, floating leg comes forward. We find tree pose. Maybe you've got kickstand, calf, or grab and place. You still have shoulders stacking over hips. Nice, very stable tree. Knee comes forward. Leg kicks back. Bending through the front knee, crescent lunge. Hands frame that foot. Stepping it back, down dog. Finding one final flow if you'd like. Eventually we'll all meet in child's pose. As you pause, perhaps draw your attention back to your intention from the beginning of class. Often, as we explore the work of the postures, we lose sight of our intentions. And as you're ready, you can curl yourself up, letting the hips drop to one side, legs come around in front. Letting them extend out. Maybe you move booty meat out of the way so that you can still have shoulders stacked over hips. Feet can flex toward the ceiling. And then let your feet relax. Jiggle the legs, like actually make the quads jiggle. We often think that we've relaxed our legs, but we have not. And then planting your feet on the mat. Maybe they stay here the whole time. Maybe your arms reach out. Maybe you hold on the backs of the knees. And you lean your chest back. To the collarbones, aim high, belly button pulls to the spine. Maybe you stay here, maybe you stay here. Next option, knees hover, or feet hover. Maybe you hold on. Loving your boat pose. It's not a yoga class till I've actually said, and now we do core. Hands might come to heart center. Maybe if you're feeling real feisty, arms and legs extend. Hovering and holding wherever you choose for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let the bottoms of your feet come together and round through the upper back, finding release through the hip flexors. Anytime we do core with our legs off the ground, sometimes our hip flexors take over. Then stacking your spine. Maybe your hands come behind you, feet come to the edges of the mat. You can windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Then as you're ready, feet plants once more. Hands can reach out, or you can catch on the backs of the thighs as you lower your torso to the mat. As you arrive there, hug your knees to your chest. Feeling free to rock and sway gently from side to side, soothing the body and massaging the low back. And then embracing some stillness here, hugging the knees tight, noticing how your body reacts to the compression of hugging your knees to the chest. Then as you're ready, plant your feet on the mat, just about hip distance apart. Hands walk toward the heels, no need for them to touch. Shoulders come underneath you. As you press your hips high to bridge pose, feeling space on the front side of the body as you feel stable and supported from the back side. Breathing here, noticing if the breath has gotten hard or is still comfortable. Then lowering, articulating through the spine, hips to the mat. Knees can sway side to side, windshield wipering. And then letting the knees come to hover over the hips. We've got lots of right angles happening here. Knees over hips, feet flexed. Arms can come out to a T shape or remain by your side, depending on what serves you best here. Then on your next exhale, gently let the knees begin to drop to the right side of your mat, pausing before they drop. Inhale brings them center. Exhale, knees drop to the other side. Syncing your movement here with breath, resisting momentum with the core. Finding about 3 more rounds here. And then when you've had your rounds, let your knees drop all the way to the right side, taking a supine spinal twist. Feeling free to find variations here. Maybe the knees stay stacked. Maybe the top leg stretches long, as if it could press on a wall in front of you. As you pause here, maybe the gaze is over the opposite fingers. Maybe the shoulder finds the mat. Your next inhale brings the knees center. Exhale drops them to your second side. Your next inhale brings the knees center, feeling free to hug them in, rocking from side to side. Maybe you go for happy baby, reaching for the blade edges of the feet. Feeling free to be static or gently rock from side to side. Giving your body anything else it may need, perhaps a gentle inversion with tiger, with the legs just reaching straight up to the ceiling, stacked over the hips. If you have shoulder stand in your practice, feel free. As you begin to settle in, finding comfort in stillness as you're ready, no rush. When you do find that comfortable spot laying on your back, maybe your knees plant on the floor, or no, your knees face the ceiling, feet are planted on the floor. Maybe the bottoms of your feet come together and your knees open out wide. If you've got wall space near you, maybe you shimmy up and take legs up the wall. Maybe you let your arms and legs splay wide. Allowing your mind to settle and embrace these final moments of your practice. Perhaps you return to your intention. Maybe you simply focus on the breath. Feeling free to stay in your Shavasana as long as you choose. You are at your house after all. But if you're ready, you can begin to find some minor movements. Fingers and toes could wiggle. Breath might once again lengthen. As you begin inviting life back in on your terms. Maybe that movement becomes larger. You could circle at the wrists and ankles. You could bend the knees and plant the feet on the floor, finding that windshield wiper once more. Feeling free to take a full body stretch and then rolling to your favorite side. You can pause, allowing your practice to settle into the body. If you're ready, you can gently begin to make your way up to a comfortable seat, starting to feel energy coursing through the body. Maybe your eyes remain closed or downcast. Ending as we began. Your next inhale, arms reach high, palms meet at the top. Exhale, hands pause at your third eye as you seek openness of mind. They rest at your lips so that you find honest words, and they settle at your heart as you arrive at a happy heart. Thank you for allowing me to be your guide for your practice. Namaste.
Namaste.
It was so good to see you guys.
Thank you so much for doing this.
So glad you guys got to come flow with me in my backyard. Thank
So
you.
we're flowing Friday
Yes,
Thank you.
with your glass of wine.
with my glass of wine at 5 o'clock.
Correct.
Perfect.
And hopefully I will be able to just send out the link as planned.
That's okay. I'll know better how to do it too.
Well,
Sure.
but it was good to see you guys.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, thank you.
Bye.